another guest today, and so I want to introduce the one and the only Rhobin DelaCruz. I'm so glad you're here, Robin. Hallie's bringing you up. There we go. Hey,
Hey,
good to
hi.
see you.
Hello, everyone. Good to see you.
Oh, it's so fun. I'm just see you all over the place, Instagram and all over the markets and all over the podcasts and all the things. So thanks for being here.
Of course, of course. It's funny how our worlds collided after the fact. So I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, super fun. Well, Robin, um, have I prepped you at all for any of our conversation today? Like given you the questions or written a check to say nice things or anything like that?
Nice things, yes. Am I prepared for the conversation? I don't know if I got questions, but
No.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm just gonna tell it how it is.
That's perfect. That's what we want. So I have not paid you. I have not prepped you. We are just having a conversation and seeing where life goes with it.
Yes, yes.
So you were previously, well, you're still in the bakery, but you were previously, so when did you go through the bakery? When was your 12 months?
I was a baker in 2023.
Okay, so it's been a couple of years. Where were you in your business before you joined the bakery?
So I was self-taught,
Hmm.
and I've been in the industry at that time for 16 years. And one of the things about being self-taught is that there's a lot of trial and error.
Hmm.
And I was at a turning point where I needed to decide if I was going to continue with interior design. And if that was going to be so, I needed to be honest and be like, okay, you're great with design, you're great with clients, but you suck at processes and implementing them. So did a little bit of research and landed on the bakery, the bakery
I
house.
am so glad you did. Did you go through this workshop that we just did this past week, the rolling in the dough?
I did. I did. That's what sold me.
Awesome. Did you do it more than once or did you just do it once?
I did it once and I
And
was
then
ready
you
to
just jumped
commit.
in. That's
Hmm.
awesome. Awesome, awesome. So you'd been in business. So how do you feel like what was the biggest what would you say was the biggest takeaway from your time in the bakery?
So I am going to speak to what was most impactful to me and how much it has changed me as a business owner. Truthfully, I didn't even know that there was business coaching programs, and I started doing research like a couple months before I found you. And now that I'm finished, had I known that this was an option, which I almost don't feel it was an option for me when I first started.
It wasn't because I was looking too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The opportunity wasn't for me wasn't there for me then, but if it was, knowing what I know now, it would have been one of the first things that I would have done for myself.
Oh, nice. So do you think the bakery would have been beneficial for you as you were starting your business or after you'd been in business for a couple years or either both?
It's a combination of both. So given that I have been in the industry for 16 years and I have that experience, I was able to appreciate the lessons and understand the structure and know how to implement it from my experiences as
Right.
prior. Um, had I been a new student, it would have been like going to college again. You know, you really had to dedicate the time. And yes, I'm learning theory and processes, but it doesn't make sense when it's actually happening to you. You just kind of absorb the information. And then when you're in a scenario, that's when you're like, oh, now I know what to do. So it's a combination of both.
That really makes sense. And that's a valid point because when it's your first time through, you don't know any different. It's just like I'm going to do what I was instructed.
Exactly, exactly. And I'm the type of person when it comes to this, when it comes to structure and like processes and operations,
Mhm.
I am the type of person that needs to be told what to do. I will listen and I will get it done.
Right, 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 right. So, when you were in the bakery, what does your weeks look like? Like, did you spend a lot of time in the content, or did you just kind of get in there, take what you could that week, and then like how did you go through the content?
So I was at a, I kind of was at a little bit of an advantage because I was able to take the year and use it as an academic year. So while I still had clients, they were my old clients. They weren't new clients. So I was able to
Ah.
work, but not be overwhelmed and still study, learn, implement, study, learn,
Oh,
implement.
you had the best of all worlds. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's a blessing. That's a huge blessing.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then, so how have the system, I'm just trying to think of questions. How have the systems that you've implemented, like, how did it change like, how did it change you, your lifestyle, your business? Like, what does that feel like or look like?
So I would honestly like to say that the bakery has made a huge impact on me as a business owner. It's given me a particular level of confidence that, like, the first time that I had a new client consult and I asked them for $850 just to meet with me, just to tell me the
Yeah.
problems, and it worked. I was like, oh my God, it works. So the first time things start happening like that, you're like, whoa, okay, I understand. There is value to this. And you keep believing and you keep doing what you're told what to do. So that's kind of how it was for me, um, with that type of experience. But again, I'm not good with processes. And the fact that you gave me a blueprint that I
Hmm.
could follow and resource, and whenever there was a scenario that I was in with a previous client or I wanted to change something, it was
Right.
easy for me to have the conversation with them because I had the blueprint.
Oh, so you could go back to
Mhm.
previous clients and say, this is what I'm doing now compared to what I did before.
Exactly.
Good
Exactly.
for you. That's awesome. Good,
Yeah.
good, good, good. Um, Shoot, I just had another question that escaped me. What are you doing these days? So how's business?
Business is fantastic. Funnily enough, I've been restructuring the the business in the last year. Like I was, so
Yeah,
what the other thing that the bakery taught me was what market was about. And it actually gave me the confidence to go in there and learn wholesale and just kind of see, because I didn't know anything about that. I was always selling retail, but the fact that I learned it from you and I had a foundation of how to
yeah,
enter that world. In addition, I'm a little ambitious, so I kind of positioned myself to
yeah,
be around the heavy hitters. The bakery gave me the tools to be able to speak to that and ask the right questions. So last year was a year of visibility and like sinking my teeth into all the things that I've learned.
yeah,
Now into phase 3 of my rebrand, which is client expansion. So I'm on my third client with the full complete new process because you do the trial and errors until you're like,
yeah.
which I'm still doing now, but I have a system now. So being
Hmm.
able to see that and implement that and talking to a client and them accepting it as fact, like, okay, cool, this works for me.
Yeah.
It's really it's a confidence booster. And also you know that you're doing things right.
Just being able to say, yes, this works for, hundreds of other designers. It's a proven process.
Yes.
Even if I don't know what the hell I'm doing,
Yes.
you
Yes.
can still
Yes.
just kind of like step into that persona and go from there.
Yeah, because the first time it was like, okay, okay, I'm faking the funk, but I know that it works, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
act like I've been doing this for a very long time.
Well, and technically you have been.
Exactly.
You just continue to evolve.
Exactly.
That's awesome. So, so what about the community? How did you, are you still in touch with people from the bakery?
So
Like, what does that look like for you?
I'm, I'm glad you asked because it was actually one of the things that I wanted to express to the group. One of the things that made this so invaluable to me is that
Uh-huh.
Hallie was able to set us up with pods, and these were my friends for the year as we went through the program. And we met once a week. We talked about the lessons, we talked about the problems, and it was like it was a internal community within the community. So I'm super grateful for that.
Oh, I love hearing that. Yeah, it's kind of an unexpected benefit.
Exactly, exactly. And I literally was texting them today to someone was asking for solutions to a situation literally today. So we're all still in touch. And even if we don't talk to each other, we can randomly say, "Hey, how do you guys deal with this?" And someone's going to reply, if not two or three people.
Right. That's I tell you, I wish that I had that back in the day as well. You know, and now you know, I still get out and I talk to a handful of people that are, you know, maybe coaches that have their design business, things along that line, but it's such a I mean, it feels like such an island when you don't have your people around you.
Oh, it's different.
Okay, so let me ask you this because you're not shy. Like, and I'm assuming even before the bakery you were not shy, right?
Yeah.
But now like you've got you were talking about your positioning and so forth, like you've got your design besties and things along that line. Would you have felt that same level of um extroverted confidence like a bit like being as visible before the
Um,
bakery? Like you kind of alluded to now you can position yourself with some of the heavier hitters, but what what can you expand
I,
on that?
I'll be honest. It was the education that the bakery gave me and the confidence to put myself out there in a different way. I am still extroverted. I would have done it, but I did it with knowledge. I did
Mm.
it with knowing what questions to ask.
Instead of your charm and charisma, or in addition to that.
Exactly, exactly. And it just kept compounding and leading to one thing after the other. And like I literally met the girls, my second market. And my first market was, whoa, this is crazy, but it was
Yeah.
fun. But
Yeah.
the second market was like, okay, I'm a little bit more grounded.
Yes.
Let's
I felt
see
the
what
same
can
way.
happen. And it just the timing of everything just happened the way that it was supposed to happen. So
Yeah, it does work itself out that way. And did you learn how to navigate some of the market and buy wholesale through that, like our little add-on course, the little mini course that's in the bakery, and then the modules that are in there as well?
yes, the thing, it was learning the calculations, the markups. It's not like because there's so much information. It's not like I remembered every single detail, but I remembered enough to have a conversation with the salesperson to be like, "Oh,
Yes.
okay, he knows what he's talking about."
I know. Yep, I hear you there. And then you just like nod your head and smile and then go back and do your thing.
Exactly. You got to fake it till you make it, but there's a better way to fake it till you make it.
Yeah. Yeah, because you actually gained some traction. Well, Robin, when you had gone through the rolling in the dough, when you went through this workshop, and then we got to the point where we were like, okay, you know, you get the special pricing, and you paid. We've we've made some changes to the bakery. We've pared it back because it just got too big. There was no way to get through it for the year.
Yep.
But you paid considerably more at the time. You
Yep.
had a there, but what would you say to yourself, or what would you say to the people here today that are like, oh, it sounds really good, but it's not for me, or I'm not ready yet, or I don't have the money. Like right now, it's like 356 bucks a month.
That is a lot better than what I paid for. That sounds like 50%
Yeah,
less.
but
Um,
hey, but Robin, you also had a lot more in there, so I don't want you to hang up here and go, damn her.
no, no, no. I know. I
We've
understand the changes.
retooled
Yeah, no, no,
it.
no. I get it. But for my own experience, it was one of the best decisions that I ever made for myself. Be-
Awesome. Yeah.
Coming from someone that is not good at creating processes and structures, it literally gave me the blueprint to operate the business, and there was no questions of how I execute things.
And did you make your money back?
Oh yeah, yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
How's your pricing? Like, did you change your pricing from how you were doing it to the bakery? And are you still doing it that way?
So before I was at an hourly rate,
Mhm.
I've now converted to a hybrid where I do hourly for project management, but I do
Uh-huh.
a flat fee for design fee, which I've learned from you.
Yeah.
And also I get the powwow with the girls from the group, and I fine tune that. So yes, I have a hybrid for myself.
Good, 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 good. If you haven't, go back into the key ingredients because we have so ML Interiors Group is my like our little design laboratory.
Hmm.
In module 4, we've made some changes to some pre-scheduled um, appointments with the client after they sign the contract. And then also how we are addressing procurement and the receiver and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it's currently in there marked as updates. So you
Mhm.
can find it. I'm gonna re-record it soon. But you can easily find it now.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Module 4, pre-scheduled appointments, addressing procurement
Yeah.
and
And we updated our contract too, so you can grab that and grab some pieces from it and possibly pop that into yours.
sweet.
So yeah, so you have access to the key ingredients in the bakery. I'm going to show you the portal later in the session, but you have the key ingredients forever. So if you join the bakery, just like I'm telling Robin, or what Hallie does is she'll send out an email saying, "Hey, this is a new update." So Robin, you really should read those emails. Um, but you get these updates. So if you join today, even when you're like done with your 12 months, there's still a lot of content that you will continue getting updates for. So, Robin, two things. One is when we're done here, if you'll drop your handle into the chat so people can follow you on Instagram because y'all, he's really fun. You should follow him. And secondly, is what would you say to the audience as you're speaking to yourself basically 18 months ago or whatever?
One of the things that's going to set you up for success, whether you decide to do it now or later, is structure. Structure is laying the groundwork for you to be a better business owner, entrepreneur, and designer. You will appreciate it, and your clients will appreciate it. And that is my words of wisdom for.
You guys can pencil that in as a tattoo on your arm. Processes are key because the people who hire us are professionals.
Yeah.
And professionals are coming out of a background that is standardized operating procedures. And so when you show them that that's what you have, their confidence in you is going to be exponentially higher.
I would like to add, I've gotten multiple compliments on my processes and how I've been running the business. So that
Yay.
very
Yeah.
flattering, and I learned.
I love that. Good, 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 good. Well, Robin, thank you so much. Are you going to be in High Point in the fall?
I will be. Yeah, we'll be in a
Okay. Well, then
panel.
we'll have to connect because I don't think I've met you in person.
No, we did. We like briefly at the last market.
Yes, yes, at Unique Loom. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, 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 absolutely. That was so much fun. That was so much fun.
That was
Yeah,
awesome.
that was just my flyby. I was so glad I got a chance to pop in and see you guys.
Thank you.
Oh, good. Well, then we'll definitely have to connect. So, y'all, make sure that you follow Robin on his Instagram. He's an inspiration and just look at how I mean, watch him flourish. Like, it's so much fun to watch that, Robin. You're just kicking ass and taking names. So I'm really proud of you for doing all that you're doing and having
Thank you.
fun while you're at it.